In this group discussion session, we shall discuss on what is group discussion, types of group discussion, then are there any standard format of group discussions, then do's and don'ts, and finally how to get prepared for this group discussion. This is what we are going to see in this program. So I'll take you to the definition of group discussion. The group discussion is nothing but as a platform where a group of people are brought together to exchange their ideas, information, and suggestion on a given topic. I'm highlighting on that word exchange. It is not one-way communication. It is not just you say something and somebody will listen to it. It is a pure exchange of ideas, information, and suggestion on a given topic. The word exchange refers, it is directly related to the word discussion. If it was a debate, then it would never be an exchange. It would always like a conveying. Okay, the pure difference between a simple and pure difference between discussion and debate is discussion is exchanging ideas and recorrecting our informations if I feel that I have gone wrong, and it can be like changing my views over a period of time according to the inputs received. But when it comes to debate, it is always sticking on to what I have said. Why I'm giving you the difference between group discussion and debate, it is because most of the time we see that our group discussion is converted into debate and we start doing. I'll tell you one thing which I'll be using at the end also. One thing we need to understand when it comes to discussion and when it comes to debate. Debate is something which you should know how you should let go. Okay, let go things, like you should keep talking on that. Let go. And when it comes to discussion, you should always know how to control, how to hold it, what to speak and what not to speak. It is all about discussion. So this you will get to know at the end of this discussion what exactly I meant let go and what exactly I meant hold and talk. Okay, we'll understand it later. So it is like exchange of ideas, exchange of information, exchange of some suggestions. So then why and how it is used, where all it is used. Definitely, as we know, this is one of the recruitment processes. So for the selection purposes, during the interview time, a group discussion is conducted. And other platform like stimulating opinions or coming to action plan. We are planning to do tasks together and we want to arrive to an action plan, then group discussion is conducted. Decision making and problem solving, these are the two another platforms where group discussion is necessary. When it is all again teamwork, when we are supposed to make some strong decision. So strong decision is based on the pooling of information, suggestions, what goes right, what goes wrong, all discussion done together, then one decision is made. So during decision making, group discussion happens. There are some recurring problems. There will be like tomorrow, once you get into your job, you get to know that there are some repeating problems. So how to counter them? We need a discussion. We will have to sit with either with the colleagues or with our superior authorities. We will discuss what exactly happening on the ground level and try to bring a solution. So to bring solution, to make decision, group discussions are important. Then reaching to an agreement. So this is where when you want to come to an agreement, what do you mean by agreement? Like finally we have to complete a certain task. For that, an agreement is necessary and agreement is must. To reach to that agreement, we need discussion. Otherwise, if we start debating, we will end up with two agreements. What I say is right for me, what you say is right for you. So it cannot be a common agreement. So in this four statements, what we can understand is group discussion is part of our career, at least right from selection till the time I'll be into a workplace. And if you can focus clearly, only one point is highlighting on selection processes, rest 3 points on workplace. That means The group discussion, what you are preparing, what you will be preparing for, will not be just helpful for you to just get a job. It also helps you in your daily work life. So you need to understand the importance of this group discussion and the do's and don'ts of group discussion, so that you can be a good part of this discussion, so that good decisions can be made, easily problems can be solved, and we can come to an agreement, so that we can bring some plan of actions. uh, just an example for your plan of actions. See, in your when you are in the beginning of your MBA colleges, you had some fest. So when the colleges or when the institute organize some fest, they make some committees, they make some teams, and they assign some work to you. When the work is assigned and finally it has to be executed, you need action plan, and it cannot be done by one's opinion. It has to be the pooled opinion of a team. There you all sit together. Need not be in a very formal way where you are sitting in a cabin, everything is noted down. No, nothing. It may be you are at a cafeteria where you're having a cup of coffee in your hand, and you're discussing with your friends, and you're discussing on that topic. Okay. So the other way of what I'm telling you is, discussion can be formal or informal, and that is what the next aspect comes: types of discussion. So we generally categorize these group discussion into two categories. Number one is formal group discussion, second is informal group discussion. What do you mean by formal and what do you mean by informal? Very simple. As name suggests, formal has got some rules, regulations, and has to be organized in a very professional way. For example, when it comes to recruitment processes, what do they do is, they will find out a place where they arrange the chairs in either oval or a circular shape, and they ask candidates to come and sit, occupy the chairs, and they fix a timing for the discussion, whether it may be 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, again, depending on how many candidates are participating. They give, the employer give one common topic on which we all will discuss. This is one way where everything is organized formally, professionally, and everything is noted down. This is during the recruitment process. And during your official workplace, where almost on a daily basis you will be part of group discussion, like it is like morning meetings, if you are into marketing and other frontline sales, where you will be like called every day morning in a cabin, where your boss, your superior will brief you. And also it is like a kind of a discussion where they ask like your opinions and all. And end of the day, there will be a review meeting for the day, maybe a review meeting at the end of a week or month. And other time, there are some hiccups in the sale, and it is not being pushed up. So it is like you all will be called and asked for a discussion. There it will be again a professional setup within the office premises, and everything will be noted down. These are called as formal group discussion. Okay. There will be concerned person, like there will be a manager or a boss or a moderator who will be monitoring the discussion. Somebody will be taking the notes of the discussion, because it is not just you are all sitting and talking on some shit. Okay. It is like something important you are talking, and it has to be noted down. And somebody will maintain the time, because it should not just overshoot the time. We should not overshoot the time and keep talking on unnecessary things. So it has to be time bounded. All these things will be under formal group discussion. When it comes to informal group discussion, it is like part of our life. Most of the time when I talk to students who are preparing for interviews, I ask them how many group discussions you have participated, and they say like, I think we have not participated, sir. For them, it is always, they believe that group discussion should be like always formal. No, it need not be formal, because you have not got an opportunity to participate in formal. I understand. But otherwise, in informal group discussion, you were part of it since your childhood. It has happened in your home. It has happened with your friend circle. It has happened in your college canteen. It has happened in your college parking lot. Now, what happens there is like, what you sit with your friends, how you sit with your friends and you discuss, can be informal group discussion. Maybe a discussion on which movie to be gone. So think that it is a Saturday afternoon, college is done, and eight of us, we are friends and we are planned to go to a movie. but out of 8, 3 are referring for English movie and 5 are referring for some Hindi movie. Now there is a difference of opinion. When there is a group, it is obvious that there must be some differences of opinion. When we understand this differences of opinion arises, there are some conflicts and there has to be a solution for it. We just cannot say that like 3 of you go for an English movie and 5 of us will go for a Hindi movie. Then we cannot call it as a group. It is not, we cannot call it as a friends gang. So we have to convince either group of 5 or group of 3 to change their opinion and come with us. Okay. And for that, you what you do is you start giving your opinions, your views, like the review of the movie, background of the actors. I don't call them as heroes, actors, and storyline, everything like this. You try to justify your point of view, and similarly they try to give that point of view. This has happened even with friends, a very small group of friends. When you go for like a small hotel or something, there also there is an agreement, like discussion to come to an agreement, like chai pina hai ki coffee pina hai. Most of the time we get confused what to we start, like starter mein kya lena hai. So this are all discussion. You plan with your family for a dinner, then it's like, let's take a very nuclear family, very small nuclear family of 4, father, mother and 2 siblings. There also we
My
have, lot of discussion, like which restaurant to be gone, what, like whether it is South Indian, North Indian, or Italian, Chinese, like we have a lot of things discussed, right? So everybody give their opinions. That is how it happens. And last thing before I proceed further, one more interesting thing which has almost happened with us in our family. Maybe like you, your father, like your father and you all sitting in a drawing room and discussing about upgrading the television. So like you people think that the size of the TV is somewhat small to compare to the size of the drawing room. So you are all discussing like which one to be taken, kaun sa, like kitna size ka lena, all those things. And you three, like you, your brother and your father, sitting in a drawing room and discussing on this brand, features and all. And you suddenly find a voice in that informal group discussion from the kitchen, where mama says कोई जरूरत नहीं है, ये जो है ठीक है, इसमें भी वही पिक्चर आ रहा है. So see, she gives her opinion. It's not like every time in the discussion all the points said are in favor of what we are talking. There are some people who don't agree with what we say. So agree to disagree is a concept we need to understand when it comes to discussion. Agree to disagree. So there will be some people who will not agree to what we say. That's how the evolution of knowledge and processes will happen. If everybody keeps agreeing for whatever we say, so development will not happen to the greater extent. There has to be somebody. There is something called as Israeli 10th man concept. What do you mean by Israeli 10th man concept? It's something like if 10 people are sitting in a discussion for on very important agenda. When people give their opinion in the, like if 9 people say yes on that particular thing, what, let it be just a rough example, the 10th man has to give his agreement saying no. The 10th man has to disagree with what 9 people have said agree. That is what, like what I said is development happens. So in this understanding of formal and informal group discussion, what we so far understood is we were part of discussions, group discussions. Though the sometimes group was very small, like it was confined to 3 or 4 people. Sometimes it was for like 10, 15 people. It was in a formal or informal way. Most of the time in our life, we were part of informal group discussion. What it means that in discussion is like group discussion is where everybody pool their information, pool their suggestions. Finally, taking all the suggestions and information, what we do in our informal group discussion is like we have to segregate the things in such a way that we have to come to a proper conclusion at the end of the discussion, so that all 8 friends of us can go together to watch either English movie or Hindi movie based on the agreement. Then only that group cohesiveness, that group bonding will continue. Otherwise, what will happen next time when you call for a movie? They say that you go to Kannada movie, I'll go to Hindi movie. Somebody will tell, well, I'll go to Telugu movie. So what is that group? So working together concept will get diluted. So this is what we need to understand. Coming to a conclusion, coming to agreement is the utmost important aspect in group discussion. Okay, when it is debate, it is not like one agreement, it is like uh, individuals agreement. If you say if you talk in the favor of that topic, you will stick on to that topic till the end, and you try to justify that what you said is right, and also you try to prove other person is wrong. Okay, you'll try all your ways to tell the other person is wrong. So that person A holds his or her views, and person B holds his or her views. So this is how there won't be any common agreement in debate. This is where I'm stressing on this point once again very clearly. It is seen that in most of the group discussion, if I give it some rough statistics, if I tell you, almost 70 to 80% of the time, the group discussions get converted into debate. If it gets converted into debate, you will not reach a common agreement. For that, what you should do as a participant, if the discussion is changing the track, it is your responsibility to make sure that and ensure everyone in the group that this is not a debate. We have to come back to the original track, what we were discussing on. So this is your responsibility. So types of group discussion: formal and informal. Let us not talk more about informal discussion because you are expert at it. Trust me, my dear friends, if you are asked to give interview, like what scares most of the candidates is like formal way of conducting group discussion. The chair arrangement, there won't be anybody apart from this 10 or 15 people sitting. So almost everybody is like wearing very proper formal dress. They're sitting like very like attentively, they're sitting. One person, that alien person who is not at all known to you, that person comes and tells that next 15 minutes you're supposed to discuss on XYZ topic, and your time starts. This is what we have never done. We have never started discussing keeping time track, and we never sat like this professionally, this formally. We have never sat. Most of the time, our friends informal group discussion was in cafeteria, or like on the steps of the college, or in the parking lot. If the HR allows you to give your job interview, that is your group discussion, in the cafeteria or in the parking lot, trust me, you would perform the best because you have got experience. But unfortunately, it will not happen. It has to be done in a formal setup. That's what we need to understand, some basics. Okay, like if I'm in a formal setup of group discussion, what I should do and what I should not do. Before reaching to that point, what do's and don'ts, now I have to tell you like a format of group discussion. There will be an obvious question that, sir, is there any format of standard format of group discussion so that we will prepare on it? And the answer is no. There are no standard formats for group discussion. Person to person, company to company, situation to situation, the format keeps changing. Then what all, like how do they conduct, what all type which all they can conduct, that I can just help you. What you need to be prepared, you need to be prepared with content. If your content is good, if you have the knowledge on the subject, no matter which format they ask you to perform, you will do it. Obvious, right? See, you have gone with like for next 40 days, 45 days, you work on the content part. If the content is ready and you have information on Article 377, Article 497, Article 317, 35A, Article 375, and GST, demonetization, impact on GDP due to coronavirus, all these like major incident what all happened in last 1 or 2 years, nationally or globally, you are ready with the content now. Now it can be like discussion, it can be debate, whatever the format. Like maybe HR may ask you to talk one after another, like maybe one by one he pick up and ask like, you stand talk on this. Let it be whichever format, because when you are ready with the content, you can deliver. So content is the king. So you need to work on the content part. Otherwise, it is not going to help you in any way. So now let us understand what all which all type they can do it. Number one is like they ask you to sit in a format of group discussion, chair arrangements made, and they give you topic, and they tell you like that HR may tell you like one by one, okay, don't talk in between, one by one, like so that everybody will get a chance. When it comes to me, it's my turn, and if I cannot speak, maybe because of language barrier, maybe because of lack of confidence, or not, maybe because lack of preparedness, because of these three reasons, if I don't talk, so my chance is gone. Now I'll pass it to the next candidate. This is one way. Second way is like they employer may ask you to sit facing each other, like if it is a group of 10, 5 each on the side, each side, and ask you to sit face each other, and they ask you, you want to debate during the under the name of group discussion, they may ask you to debate. Last year what happened is like there was a company called as J2W. What they did, instead of conducting group discussion, what they said is they asked students to come one by one. They gave them a simple topics like change is the only constant, nota or something. These are the simple topics they gave, and asked them to speak for 1 minute. This is third. Fourth, they don't insist that one by one, but they give you topic, and randomly people start talking. Think that there are 10 people in the group, and the 7 people could speak for 10 minutes together, altogether 10 minutes they could speak, but 3 could not speak, and finally there will be something called as concluding, or conclusion should be given. And what employer may do is employer can give the opportunity to those 3 who could not participate, so that they want to make sure that they want to hear from everyone. Maybe because of some reason that candidate might have not contributed, or might have not got opportunity to contribute, just wanted to make sure that they don't want to reject a good candidate. So this is one more possibility. These are the possibilities. But otherwise, generally how it is conducted, if it is like a group of 10 or 12 people in a group discussion, they ask you to sit, they give you one topic. It is may or may be like they may give you 1 minute time, or they may not give you time. Immediately they may ask you to start discussing on that. Otherwise they will ask you to think on that subject for 1 minute, so that you can jot down your points. Then you're supposed to speak for next 12 or 14 minutes. Generally what do they make sure is like 1 minute each candidate, that is their simple calculation. 12 candidates, 12 minutes. So 1 minute for thinking, 1 minute for thinking, 12 minutes of discussion, and last 1 minute is for concluding the session. This is another and most of the time preferred format of discussion. Again, I'll tell you, none of these are like standard in any of the companies. Same company may come with a different module of conducting this group discussion. Finally, end of the day, they have some requirement, quality requirements from the candidate, and they want to identify it. For that, they may modify the process of group discussion. Okay, hope you have understood. There is no standard format, but no matter whatever the format given to you, if you are ready with the content, you can deliver. Okay, now before we go to the next aspect, when I ask students, generally when I go to them, I used to go to them, and I was like, what do you think, why group discussion is conducted, or in the other word, to identify which quality in candidate this group discussion is conducted? The answer what I used to get was, sir, to identify or to check our communication skills, group discussion is conducted. This is not complete, right? Yes, and definitely communication is one of the qualities. Definitely communication is one of the qualities will be tested in group discussion, but not solely meant to check your communication skills. If at all company wants to know your communication skills, why do they ask all 10 or 12 candidates to talk at once? Like it to some extent it becomes a fish market, so that they cannot even hear everyone properly. If their intention was to identify communication skills, what would, if you ask me, what I would do is like I call one by one, I give them a simple topic, and I ask them to speak for 2-3 minutes. Maybe talk on your role model, talk about your family, talk about your hobbies, something like that, any random topic, so that their spoken ability can be identified. easily. Also we can patiently, like we can have a patience and sit and check their body language. That means it is not just the communication skills, but definitely communication skill is part of one of the skills what they are looking forward. Then why this group discussion? To identify which quality, why this group discussion is given so much of importance. Why almost 70 to 80% of the recruitment processes, like interviews, group discussion is made part of it. As I've already explained, if I have not also, analytical skills, that is your aptitude test, is to identify your problem solving abilities, like how quick you identify the problem and how quick you come to a conclusion or a solution to that. To identify that quality of problem solving ability and your creative ability, analytical skill or aptitude test will be taken. Interview is to know you better. Interview is like a process to know you better, like how better you fit into our system. Now then, what about this group discussion? It is, if it is not just communication skills, then what other qualities they would find in us? The answer is the leadership. The group discussion is completely meant to identify the leadership qualities. And when it comes to leadership quality, leadership is not a single quality, it is a accumulation of multiple qualities. And what are those? How a leader, okay, now in next 2 3 or 5 minutes, what we shall do is, let us understand how these qualities make a person leader and how these qualities directly related to group discussion. We shall see it now. So here is a few, like here is a small list of some of the selected qualities of a leader, though there are many more, but they are the selected qualities. Okay, let's start one by one. Number one, initiative. Leader is a one who always takes initiative. That's how the leader is always identified. For like any given task, any given situation, or any given problem or challenge, leader is a kind of a person who always jumps in and starts taking initiative, like at least to understand the problem or to provide solutions. We have seen in our personal life also, any small issues or a challenge, we find one person who always jumps in. That is called as initiative. So any leader without initiative quality, he never be referred as a leader, a good leader, a great leader. So this is one of the utmost great quality of a leader. Now, how is it related to group discussion? In any of the group discussion, the person who initiates the group discussion is called as initiator, and that person will definitely have an added advantage in the group discussion. See, the moderator or the HR who will be standing or observing our group discussion, that person will make a point that who has started and also who has concluded. Okay, so now who has started, definitely, like the, see, if it is again imbibed quality, if I have that leadership quality, if I have that initiativeness in me, I always start the thing. I will not, I will never worry like how it will go, like how it will be, like how it will take a turn, whether it will be right or wrong, that we shall see it later. Let me begin. This quality of initiative is identified in the group discussion. Number one, that's the quality of a leader. Number two, confidence. The other name for a leadership is confidence. Confidence, leadership, leadership, confidence. They are like hand in hand, two faces of a same coin. Similarly, in any of the group discussion, it is not like what content you have and how do you speak. It's like with what confidence you're talking on, that always matters. Your confidence is directly reflected, like it is like mirrored, like the way you're sitting. That's what on the other day I said, the way you walk, the way you sit, and the way you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening decides 70% of the selection or rejection in the personal round interview. On what parameter do they judge you on, like that 70% of selection or rejection? It is the way you walk, the way you sit, and the way you say. What did they identify? If confident walk, confident posture of sitting, and confident way of saying good morning, good afternoon. Okay, confidence. Similarly, during your group discussion, how confidently you sit, okay, what is your body language like, and finally, with what confidence you speak. Right. So confidence is second key factor. Third is knowledge. Any leader without knowledge is fool. Why we call a person as a leader? Because he has a confidence, he takes initiative, but he has got abundance of knowledge. Ask anything related to that particular work, he knows it. That's what we make him leader. Usko sab kuch malum hai. That's what we make him as a leader. Isko malum hai. That's how, right? Similarly, knowledge is power in your group discussion. What do you mean by content? Content is nothing but as your knowledge on that particular subject, right? If you have that knowledge, you can definitely speak, or you definitely share your exchange your information in any sort of a group discussions, any sort of a discussions. Most of the time, people from Kannada medium or the other regional language students, they tell me, sir, I'm from Kannada medium, otherwise I would have spoken better in group discussion, sir. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್, ನನಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. Okay, fine. It is not, see, group discussion is not about your just English spoken ability. It is on, like, if you know on the content, if you know the depth of, like, if you have the knowledge, then somehow you manage to speak. For example, if the group discussion topic given to you is talk about Jan Lokpal bill. See, some of us, we know that Jan Lokpal bill is like anti-corruption bill, Anna Hazare, Arvind Kejriwal, Kiran Bedi, what else? What else? Right? So the confinement of content is very limited, very limited. Somewhere it is heard, a borrowed knowledge, somewhere shared knowledge in social media. And sometimes we don't even not sometimes, most of the time we don't cross verify the facts and information in the social media, and we keep believing and start sharing it. So the confinement is very, very, very narrow. With this, like, whether you're from English medium or a Kannada medium or Marathi medium or Urdu medium, if you have never heard about Jan Lokpal bill, what you would be talking in the group discussion? So knowledge plays an important role to be a leader. Knowledge also plays a very, very vital role in group discussion. So for next 40 days, my dear friends, focus more on content development. How and like which and how, we shall discuss at the end of this session. Next, communication. Here it comes. What we thought like group discussion is meant for communication. Yes, it is meant for communication. Communication is not just a verbal communication. It also includes non-verbal communication. What do you mean by non-verbal communication? The 6 component of non-verbal communication, they are called as body languages: eye contact, posture, gesture, facial expression, voice modulation, and dressing. Let me repeat: eye contact, gesture, posture, facial expression, voice modulation, and dressing. All these 6 together contribute majorly in the communication. If I give you the statistics, like 33% is verbal communication and 67% is non-verbal communication. Together they make a effective communication. So when it comes to communication, it is not just English speaking ability they check. The way you're sitting, the way you are dressing, whether the button is properly tucked or not, like the inshirt, the shoes are polished or not, crossed leg, tapping foot, everything will be tested and observed. So communication, verbal, non-verbal, together. But communication is not complete until and unless you listen to someone, like somebody listening to you. You're talking and somebody is not listening to you, then it is not called as communication. It's like you're just speaking. It is not communication. It is not getting completed. Communication is the best quality of a leader. Similarly, communication is the soul of group discussion. Similarly, along with you talking, somebody is listening, or when somebody is talking, you will be listening. And when you check, when you find out a leader, a good leader has got a capacity of empathetic listening. What do you mean by empathetic listening? The one who can understands what you speak. So that ability is required. So listening is very, very like it is like highlighted point, like highlighted quality, which will be observed in group discussion. Speaking and listening, both. Then decision making. A good leader or great leader is one who makes a great decisions. That is what is a known fact. How does it related to group discussion? Yes, when you're talking, somebody in the group, that person starts speaking something irrelevant facts and takes the discussion to a different track. then you have to decision to stop that person and bring back the discussion on the track. That is decision making. Or maybe it happens that some of you or 3 or 4 of you already spoken enough in the group discussion. One or two candidates are trying to speak from the beginning, but somehow their lack of confidence and lack of communicative skills, they're not able to get an opportunity to talk. So you have to make a decision to get them a chance. Like you can intervene in between and you can tell that I think we have spoken enough and it is like time for one or two other candidates to share their opinion. This is again a decision, right? And also there is one more quality that is called as people oriented. There is there like below that empathy, there is one more quality called as people oriented. This is what it's called as people oriented. You always like not only you take care of yourself, also you think about others. You like it is like a teamwork. Together we can achieve more. This is what is a concept. Always leader thinks for his people. He never says I, he says we. Similarly, this is what is a quality looked at. When it is in a group, there is always a possibility of conflicts, differences of opinion. Conflicts easily arises. So how do you deal conflicts is the quality of a leader. Similarly, there are a lot of arguments, there are a lot of like aggression in the group discussion. We like start debating. Then how do you resolve that conflict of the 10 minutes of discussion? How do you quickly identify that there is a conflict in the discussion? We need to resolve it. When how better you do it, that is observed. Empathy is like a simple thing. When some of your friends may tell you, like they might have told you that don't worry, I understand you. I know I understand you. So this is something we need to understand in the group discussion also. Empathy is the quality of a leader. He always understands his or her people. Similarly, in the group discussion we need to understand others opinion, like others opinion. Second is we need to identify like some of the candidates are not able to pitch in and speak. There that I said na people oriented. Similarly, like you have to understand their situation only when once you have already done speaking. So understand them, give them opportunity, and at least make them part of the discussion. Empathy. Self motivation. Self motivation is something like it is like soul for a leader. Because in his or her life there are a lot of ups and downs, and every time he goes down or she goes down, that person motivates themselves, him or herself. Similarly, in the group discussion, like for example, after this session you sit back and rearrange all the thoughts, and you for next 40-45 days you have prepared absolutely well for your group discussion. Okay, now you have gone to group discussion, everything is prepared, you have charged up yourself and you're ready for your performance. But unfortunately all the time in life things not don't happen the way we have planned for. The topic given to you was something else, or you wanted to initiate the group discussion, somebody else started, and you have not got an opportunity to speak the way you wanted to speak. Definitely confidence starts dipping down. Okay, here is what this self motivation point comes into picture. You can always tell yourself that all is well. No, it's no matter what if I don't get a chance to start the discussion, there is always an opportunity to contribute good points during the process. Also, there is one more opportunity at the end to conclude or sum up entire discussion in an unbiased way. So never letting down your confidence is a self motivation, and that is what it is required. You know why, my dear friends? It's a very simple funda. Not every time in your workplace all the time things go as you wish or plan. Most of the time things go the way you have planned, like against the plans of yours. Then every time you don't expect anybody like Praveen or somebody else will come and motivate you. Nahi, kuch nahi ho jayega. You can do it. Yes, you will win. It is not impossible. It is I am possible. All those things, quotes and quotations, books, other motivational trainers. Kuch nahi aayega. That time you need or whom you need is your own self. The more and more you motivate yourself, higher the goals you can reach. Because please understand, even shadow, okay, leaves us sometime. Okay, it's not like people tell na that ನೆರಳು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, परछाई हमारे साथ हमेशा रहता है. नहीं, वो भी साथ छोड़ देता है कभी कभार. Okay, so the one who can come with you is only you. That motivation is required, and this motivation is required even for the time of preparation also. Emotion management, leader is one who balances very professionally personal emotions and professional emotions. If that person mixes both, then he cannot be a leader. Similarly, you need to understand, during your group discussion, people may counter your point. People will counter your points. You thought that the point is valid and you have said this is a valid point. Immediately the other person will trash your point and put it in the dustbin, and you feel hurt, you feel offended. Most of the time I have seen in the group discussion, what people do is they get offended immediately when they are countered by other people. See, there is something you need to understand, my dear friends. We always talk about freedom of expression. It's a huge word. Okay, it's a huge word. Freedom of expression, what do you mean by freedom of expression? What we tell is, the whatever the way I want to express, the Constitution of India has given me the right to express. Absolutely, yes. It has given a right to express the way whatever you want to express within the Constitution, no doubt. Similarly, it has given a right to other person also express the way that person wants to express, but not necessarily that whatever you think is right or something. For example, look at this object. The object is in my hand. If I ask you what is the color of it, certainly the answer is red, and I say black. Again, some of you say, no, Praveen, check it properly. This is shining red. I said, this is shining black. You say pitch red. I said, pitch black. Right? If this continues, we end up in a argument, and sometimes we end up in a quarrel, and we start blaming each other. You know why? Because you are seeing this object from this direction and you are seeing it red, and I am seeing it from this direction, I am seeing it black. Now tell me, who is right and who is wrong? If the answer is both are right, then why are we fighting? Because both are wrong. Why? Because both of us, we only tried defending that this is only black and this is only red. This is not just red, it is not just black, it is together. When the change, like when the perception changes, देखने की नजरिया जब बदलता है ना, तब दुनिया ढंग से दिखाई देता है. This is what goes wrong during interviews. This is what goes wrong during group discussions, where I get offended or I get carried away by the thoughts of others. And unfortunately, this is happening in the outside, like in the country also. People with like prejudiced mind, they give their opinion and we get carried away. See, for example, emotionally hurt and all. See, if you are a vegetarian, and you have never even touched egg, you don't even prefer consuming that. That is your choice and that is your food habit. And you have a friend who is fond of eating all sort of non-vegetarian food, all variety. So there is like that person never discriminate like kya khana hai nahi khana hai, anything is fine. When that person is sitting with you and takes out some meat item from the box or a plate, most of the time I've seen people reacting to that in a very awkward way. Ah, chi, thu, chi, and all. Who are you to do that? If you don't like, okay, you have go to other place. You have a right to sit here. Similarly, that person has the right to sit there. Now you need to understand one thing. There is something as aggressiveness and there is something called as assertiveness. These two quality you need to differentiate. When you react in this way, chi, tu, mutke jabe, nikal ke jao, edogo, this is aggressiveness. There is something called as assertiveness. What do you mean? This assertive quality is required in everybody, whoever is planning to start their job and career in corporate or any workplace. What do you mean by assertive? Exercising your right. For example, you don't eat. As I said, like I have my opinion. Similarly, that person has their own opinion. It's a food habit. What you need to make sure that, see, I don't mind you eating. You eat your food. I will eat my food. Don't force me to your food. While eating, don't put your hand into my food. I'll eat mine. Now, next thing, don't compare your food with my food, and I will not compare my food with your food. Let us put that boundary, okay, so that we can share the table, we can sit and eat properly, and we walk out with a professional and friendly behavior. This requires a lot of practice to be assertive. Telling no, the way you are supposed to say the no, you need to practice. So this quality is required, and that quality comes with the proper emotion management. You need to see last quality. You can just go to the last point, that is handling criticism. What do you mean by criticism? When somebody criticizes you on the face, upfront on your face, somebody tells negative about you, immediately people react. Okay, many of us, we immediately react. We become very impulsive. Then you feel hurt or you try to hurt other person. That is where your emotional management is gone for a toss. And the leader is the one who balances it very nicely. He receives all the criticism, he never reacts or she never, and they will just take everything, understand whether right or wrong. If it is not somewhere they have not done it, it's okay. People talk. लोगों का काम है बात करना, वो बात करते रहेंगे. Whatever you do, people do that. This is how that maturity you need to bring in. Delegation. What do you mean by delegation? Assigning right work to a right person. Okay, that is called as delegation. That's the quality of a leader. किसको क्या काम देना है and how it is to be done. That is what is done by leader. How it is done in a group discussion. See, once you have already spoken in group discussion, you have already made your point valid and made your mark in the group discussion. Now you need to assign some task, like there is one person who is dominating the group discussion, talking too much, not allowing anybody. You can request that the gentleman, I think you have spoken enough. Let us give opportunity to this lady who is trying to speak from the beginning. Yes, madam, you can share your views. This is how assigning, stopping and starting. That is delegation. Honest. Honesty is like again the best quality in a leader. Similarly, being honest in a group discussion is always good. Like honesty reflects through your content, right? Be honest. Okay, be honest in sharing your views, and be honest in justifying yourself. Vision and purpose. Every leader has got a strong vision. Because of their vision and all, they become leader. Okay, and they become great. Me and you are also leaders, but people become great with their vision and the purpose in life. That's what people tell. Find the purpose of life. This is how it is related to leadership. And about leadership, if at all you need some explanation, there is a video in my YouTube channel. Go back and watch it. And have tried to explain the qualities of leadership based on a beautiful book called as 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If at all you have any time and patience, go back and watch that video. Vision and purpose. How vision and purpose makes a person great leader. Similarly, we should have a vision and purpose in a group discussion. What is vision? Vision is like I have to start. We have started this discussion on this particular topic. We have to arrive to a common conclusion at the end. That is a vision. We have to get agreed to a common conclusion. That is agreement. That is vision. And what is the purpose? Purpose is like gathering the information, like striking out unnecessary points and not allowing like controversial statements and all. Like we have to go with the purpose. Like at the end, I should reach my vision. And handling criticism, I have already touched. So these are some of the qualities together make a person leader. And can you now understand with this detailed explanation? Group discussion is not just it's not an ordinary round of interview where people are made sit and given a topic and they just shout like and fight like a cats and dogs, like some of the reality shows we watch. Like we tend to behave like that, and so it is not that. It is not that. It has got a purpose. It has got a very core purpose, that because no employer wants just a human robot to join their companies. What do they need is, initially they may give you the entry level job, entry level position, but they definitely want to see a great manager or a leader emerging out through you so that their company can reach the next heights. So they need leaders. So to find that whether you have these qualities or not, because these are all if you remember my first session, that is campus to corporate, I have said something on job retaining skills. They are called as professional skills, and you can find many of this. In fact, almost all of these are job retaining skills. So they will find, like the HR will find job retaining skills or the qualities of leadership through this one round of interview that runs for 10 or 15 minutes. So please don't ignore preparing on this. You need to be well prepared when you go for group discussion. Not only just to get selected. Once you get selected, in every day, every routine of your life, of your personal as well as professional life, you require these qualities to deal with every discussion. So At this point, we understood what is group discussion, what are the types of group discussion, why group discussion is conducted, for which quality to identify the group discussion is conducted, what is the format of group discussion. This is something like 50% of our content is over. Another 50% of the content is very important, that is do's and don'ts of group discussion. We shall understand those and we shall say goodbye to this session so that our preparation will start. So I'll take you to the next slide where we will discuss do's and don'ts of group discussion. Okay, I'm sorry, I just forgot to tell you on this slide. After this, I'll take you to the do's or don'ts of group discussion. Now, what I want to tell you is evaluation parameters. What are the evaluation parameters? Like on which parameter we will be evaluated? Marks allotted, like how a group discussion is given a marks, like which candidate will be selected on which parameter. Simple thing. First and foremost thing in group discussion is your content, knowledge. On that, each section will carry, say, like the distribution of marks is equal. If it is for 60 marks, each will carry 10 marks. So first they focus on the part. Second is on your confidence. They need a confident candidate. Next is communication, that is your spoken ability, a flawless, fluent communication. How better, how convincingly you speak and put across your thoughts. Then is your body language, the sixth component. That's what I said. If you think that discussion should be done, let me know at the end in the chat section so that we can have one exclusive session on body language, like the way it is sitting, like how to set facial expression, what it conveys. Like, because see, this is the body language was never been part of our curriculum. Maybe if at all you have studied something in your business communication, I don't know to what greater extent they have explained in the books, but this is something which is very much essential. The way you sit, the way you look at a person, eye contact, facial expression, no matter what time you're sitting, like from what time you're sitting on that chair, how long you'll be sitting, you have to maintain that energy, and that will be reflected on your face, that is on your facial expression, that shows your energy, confidence, everything. So that is body language. Even in fact, that's what in the most of the professional courses, why do your faculty insist on being on professional, like formal dresses? Because formal dress always convey a very, very decent behavior. It reflects a decent behavior. Again, we are decent or not, it is the hidden agenda. But otherwise, it the first impression is, yes, I at least feel that I want to talk to that person. Then is listening. Communication हो गया, बात करना हो गया. Then there is something called as listening, बात करना, like सुनना. There is something called as there are 6 level of listening. There are 6 stages listening. Again, this is in detail discussed in that leadership video, that is on 7 habits of highly effective people. Like what is like importance of listening? Just go back and watch it. Otherwise, listening is something which they focus on, like talking, also listening. And group behavior. How do you behave in a group? These are the 6 parameters on which the evaluation is made. Though other qualities will be picked up, definitely on these 6 it will be evaluated. Now, if you can focus a bit on this image, what I have selected is of your college seniors image, and you can just look at that image, just to have a glance. See how everybody is sitting. There is almost every individual is sitting in the different posture. Their body language is reflecting altogether a different story. You don't have to be a great psychologist to understand what it conveys. Who is confident, who is not confident, like who is just sitting casual. Everything is reflecting here, right? This is how the people are getting evaluated. So you need to understand everything, right from how to sit, how to talk, and all. See, again, sitting, I understand. See, you are at your places. Most of you are at your bedrooms, somewhere in your drawing room. I don't know, like wherever you're sitting. Most of the time, what we have seen is online classes. People lie on their bed, put the earplugs, and आराम से लेट कर आराम से they are listening to online classes. But you have seen, like, this is my fourth class for you, almost fourth class for you. What you see is 1.5 hour session. The way I sit, even I feel like sitting for 1.5 hour at one place is difficult. But the way you sit, okay, conveys a message. The way you step conveys a message. That's what. See, wearing formal dress. Even I like wearing t-shirts. Even I like. This is very hot in Hubli right now. The temperature is like we're getting confused whether it is a rainy season or a summer. It is like last 3 4 days at least we have a very bad weather here. Even I would like to be wearing the beach wear and aram se yahan par baithna. Even I prefer that. But by doing that, what it conveys that I don't care about who is sitting in front of me. Wearing formal dress, okay, sitting up straight and with some smile on the face and having conversation, it is not to impress the other person. It conveys that I respect you. It is a formal forum. It is an official forum where I have to render my respect to the person who is getting associated with us. That's what people insist you to be on a formal dresses. At least on your interview days, be on formal dresses. Learn to know, like, learn how to sit, how to stand, how to walk. Everything you have to have a practice. If required, that we shall have as a separate topic at the end. Maybe at the after interview preparations, we can have that one session. So these are the parameters of evaluation. So work on your content, confidence, communication, body language, listening, and group behavior. Now I'll take you to the do's and don'ts of group discussion. When there is something to be done, there is something called as do's and don'ts. There are something we have to do. There are something we should not do. We should avoid. So let's start with the positive thing. Let's start with do's. What to be done? How it is to be done in group discussion. Number one: sit straight, sit calm with smile. This is something you need to remember as a mantra. Sit straight, sit calm. Calm is like relaxed. Relaxed is not in the sense like I say, but aram se. It's like sit calm. That way, like, don't have a stiff body language, like very blank face. Always remember, having a smile on face definitely helps you. Like, that is something is a significant. That is a symbol of relaxed mind and a confidence person. It's been 10 years I'm into this profession. More than about around 2 lakh students have interacted with. Approximately about 50 to 60,000 graduates and PG students together I have trained. I'm tired telling this. I'm using that word. I'm tired telling this, that every time I go to those degree students on this interview preparation, I regularly tell them that the moment you enter into interview premises, there a smile on your face. You know what? Some of us are really blessed. We are blessed with that smile on the face. Unconditionally, we maintain that smile on the face, and that not only keeps us happy and relaxed, also make people around us feel comfortable. We might have heard from those people that, like, I feel good to be with you. And some of us are so cursed, like Bhagwan ne itna khunnas nikala hai na, like, we have to forcibly, we have to maintain that smile, and that too is so fake smile. At least whatever, like, whether blessed or cursed, make a practice of having smile on your face during interviews and group discussion. Very simple. Especially this quality is required when things go wrong on your way, not when everything is fine. Everything is fine, everybody will be happy. This quality requires when something goes wrong. And if with everything going wrong, still you maintain that smile on your face, the other person will feel that, yes, this person has got something, right? Once one, like, that's what, falling down is not a failure, staying down is a failure, and bouncing back is always an option. That's chalo ho gaya. I have not, like, I've gone to an interview, like, group discussion, thought everything, prepared everything, but that is not my days. It happens with cricketers. They go with well preparedness, and the first ball they get bowled and out, come back, but they will not finish their career. They come back and sit like, okay, it was not my day. It was not my day. But they go back. What do? They retelecast the same match, check the ball, how that baller bowled, what mistakes I've done, and they go back to the net practice and they practice the same ball, and next match, same baller, same ball, they hit it across the boundary. This is what is called as bouncing back. This is what is required. See, I tell to many people, not every one of us who are attending this session are meant for corporate job, but still we are doing this course, so we want a job. So हम लोग आ रहे हैं. I have never dreamt to sell a sim. I have never dreamt to sell a cement. I have never dreamt to sell a Asian Paints and credit card. My dreams were something else. But because of the course and the specialization, I end up selling these. Okay. If at all you have never dreamt selling paints, if the Asian company rejects you or any Berger company rejects you in their interview, why to feel bad? Because it was not your dream. You have opted that interview because they have come to take an interview. You never wanted to be, right? So this is what you need to bring that, like for okay, if at all you wanted to sell a paint, Asian Paint आकर मुझे reject कर दिया, that's okay. There are other paint companies. I'll prepare. जो end of the day अगर मुझे कुछ sell करना है तो paint sell करना है, and I'll get into Berger company. I'll go to other company. I'll start. This is how your approach should be. So for that, what you should require is the confidence, and confidence shows all these three: sitting straight, sitting calm and relaxed, and smile on the face. The first quality when you get into interview hall and when you get into your group discussion hall. This you need a lot of practice. Otherwise, without practice, ये तो आएगा नहीं. At least we have to start practicing sitting straight, sitting relaxed, do nothing, speak nothing, sit for 10 minutes on a place, like on a chair, like sit with a smile on your face. Practice it. Keep a mobile phone recording option on and record yourself and see, like, for next 10 minutes after this session, can you do it regularly? And that is what you need to practice to begin with. Speak when you get chance and speak with confidence. See, you want to initiate. If you get a chance to initiate, do it, well and fine. Somebody else have initiated, that's okay, no problem. You will get opportunity to speak in the later part. But there are some chances, there are some incidences where there will be some 2-3 people in the group. They never allow others to speak. Then wait for that opportunity. No matter how great speaker that person is, that person had to take a pause to gulp the spit or to take a breath. That is your spot. Hop in and pitch in, start narrating your points. Find a chance, okay, or get a chance. Whenever you get a chance, speak with confidence. Do whatever, like if you have a confidence, definitely you will make a mark in that opportunity which you got. Without confidence, if you talk, the other will dominate. So don't miss that opportunity. Whichever you have got, speak with confidence. And confidence comes with the content. Confidence, like how to get a confidence. Yesterday, one of your student was asking me, sir, how to get a confidence in group discussion. The answer is content here. Like when you know about the content, you can easily talk. For example, if I was this interview preparation or this resume building or group discussion content is new to me for the first time, if I'm handling this, then my way of conversation was totally different. Trust me. Why I talk on this? Because I have experience. What is experience? I have read on it. I have done some researches. I've heard and I've conducted this. So it is because of that knowledge that confidence is coming. Same thing. By doing the same thing repeatedly over again gives you confidence. Speak 3 to 4 times in a different interval. Think that it is 12 minutes group discussion, 12 minutes duration of group discussion. Do not start like from the beginning. Don't start speaking for 3-4 minutes. Don't do that. Speak for 3 to 4 times in different intervals. It has got 2 important advantages. Number 1, if you speak in different intervals, for example, you have initiated, you have spoken for 30-40 seconds. Now you have paused, somebody else started contributing. You have waited for another 1.5 minutes. Again, another 20-25 minutes of contribution. Again, you paused. Like that, 4 times in 12 minutes you have spoken. Now, what it shows, your complete participation throughout a discussion. That is a great gesture. Like speaking once in the beginning and keeping quiet is wrong, or speaking at the end, keeping quiet throughout is wrong again. Speaking, contributing, that means that you are attentive, you are listening to others, and you are making valid points. That is a contribution. That shows your complete participation and contribution. 3 to 4 different intervals. What is the duration I'm talking about? 30-40 seconds. Okay, so that you are allowing others also to speak. Second advantage, important advantage of in different intervals, most of the time we may not know anything about that particular topic which is given for a discussion. I have a limited knowledge, but I am a confident person and I have initiated. जितना पॉइंट था, जितना मालूम था, मैंने फर्स्ट 40 seconds में बोल दिया. Now I am done with my content. Now what you do is wait for another 2 minutes where other people contribute. And we are smart enough that if I get a little information, I can stretch, I can reframe it, and I can narrate. So waiting and speaking in a different interval will help you to collect information or modify your information and render it. So speak 3 to 4 times in different intervals. Do not speak everything for 3 or 4 minutes at once, whether it is in the beginning or at the end. Make sure that your participation is throughout. This is a very important thing. Use proper statistics, data, and facts. That is what is a honest quality that comes. Whenever you talk about numbers, whenever you talk about some researches, whenever you talk about some information, you need to be very, very clear, crystal clear, and absolutely right on that. Otherwise, being a master graduates in commerce, that is MBA, and you give some vague statistics, it doesn't make credible. So you need to be very, very, very professional giving statistics. Only use numbers when you're sure about it. And definitely, one more thing I want to tell on this. Think that you have not got a chance to speak multiple times in your group discussion, but you have got only one opportunity in the middle, and you have used 40 seconds to convey your statement with some numbers, with some data, and with some facts, all confined, very precise. One go, 40 seconds. Once you have spoken, that is more than for you to clear that round of interview. It is not how many times you speak again. It is all about what you speak, with what facts and numbers you speak, with what credibility you speak, makes a difference. So be particular about this aspect. Right. Carry a pen and paper. I don't think any of the HR will stop you carrying a pen and paper or a small book or a scribble pad along with you. If that person insists not to use it, otherwise carry a pen and paper. You know why? How it helps? See, I have shared my opinion and I'm now waiting. And my co-contender has said some points, valid point, and the points I want to counter or I want to add on some information, and I want to say I had half information. He has given some hint, and I would like to reframe everything, and I want to render it. The thing is, immediately I wanted to speak, but somebody else took opportunity, started speaking. Now what happened is I'm now listening to the other person and other person. Then it comes to me. After two different conversation, when it comes to me, I have a high chances of forgetting what this gentleman has spoken. So what you should do is take a pen and a paper, keep it on a table, make a small notes, like just write those words. But I need to be very careful. You need to be very careful. It is like making small notes, not writing an essay. Head down, start writing essay for like 12 minutes and finally read it. No, it is not that. And nobody will check your handwriting there. It is for your reference, that 1 or 2 points, that words, just write it. Like, you have to maintain your eye contact. Also, just make a point. Trust me, this will help you. Or maybe like if the HR starts like this, that I'll give you 1 minute to think on the subject and you can start the discussion thereafter. Now you just sit and randomly start collecting thoughts mentally. There is a high chance of getting evaporated. It's always good, like on that topic, okay, you started getting thoughts popping out and immediately they get evaporated. Before they get evaporated, what you should do is, okay, first thought, I just write, I'll make a point, so that in different intervals you can use these points. Make a habit of carrying pen and otherwise you can before you even start a discussion, the moment you enter into the hall, you can seek the permission from the HR saying that, sir, shall I use pen and paper during the interview? If they say no, don't carry. And most of the time, 90% of the time, they never say no. They may allow you. It's either ways. Okay, but do maintain this. Look at everyone while speaking and look at the speaker while speaking. This is a very important line. Look at everyone while you speak. Okay, when you are speaking, it is a group discussion. You are supposed to look at everyone. It is not like one-to-one. You're not your friend is sitting and you're just talking to that person. No, you have to maintain eye contact with everybody. That gives a very like nice gesture that you are making everyone involved in your conversation. Similarly, once you are done with speaking, now you are a listener. When somebody is listening, you have to pay your eye contact to that person, look at that person and listen to that person. Okay, in don't section I'll talk on this in detail further, but here it is like when you're speaking, look at everyone. This is a simple mantra. Look at everyone while speaking, look at the speaker when listening. This is a simple thing you need to practice. Allow others to speak once you are done. What is the meaning of this? Allow others to speak once you are done. What do you mean by once you are done? For example, it is a 12 or 15 minute, 10 minutes group discussion. Let us take another example. 10 minutes group discussion. There are 8 candidates and 3 or 4 of you have already contributed 3 or 4 times already in the group discussion. It is already 8 minutes and already 3 or 4 times you have contributed. Now, there are another 4 or 5 candidates in the group who are struggling to even make their first statement. Why it happens is maybe because of language barrier, because of their lack of knowledge and lack of confidence, they have not made any impression. Now, here is your one more trump card in the group discussion where you can play a role of people oriented, that leadership quality, together, giving opportunity, being empathetic, everything comes here. So now what you can do is, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have already contributed enough for this discussion. It's time for us to listen to our other friends, what they have in their mind. Let us give opportunity to this lady who is trying to speak from the beginning. This is how you can allow others. Only when you are done. It is not like do a traffic police job from the beginning. Okay, you have spoken enough, stop, now you speak. You never spoken and you have only done this traffic clearing. Don't do that. Only once you are done. That's what I'm stressing on, that. Allow others to speak once you are done. Stick to the set. Very common. It's a common sense given topic. Most of the time it is like debatable, kind of debatable. Make sure that keep it on the track of discussion. When it goes out of the track, take a responsibility. Stop the conversation, like request the gathering. I think we are going out of the topic. Let us come back to the subject. So that if you stick to the subject, you can reach to the conclusion. Otherwise, it goes to a different dimension. Respect the views. Respect the views of others. See, that's what in the previous slide, what I have said, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, freedom of speech and all, it comes there. What you say, whenever I speak something, with what intention I speak is, whatever I say, people should like my conversation. People, that's what we use our social media platform, right? Whatever I post, people should like us. That's how. That's a common need, like common desire of a human being. What I speak, people should respect my views. Simply, other person feels. So if you don't like also, but you're not an authority to just say it is wrong or something. So just respect. Okay, just let the person speak. Don't judge on that person. Don't conclude that you're right or something. Let that be done by the HR. Or otherwise also, it is a discussion for 10 or minutes, my dear friends. Please understand, if the topic given to you is a Kashmir issue, which is happening from last 70-75 years, you sitting in somewhere, some corner of Hubli or Belgaum, and sitting with your friends in front of an HR talking on Kashmir issue, do you think you can resolve that Kashmir issue which is happening from last 75 years? It's a matter of maturity. You have, see, you are discussing, that's it. You are not an authority to change what is happening there. If at all you want to bring some change there, this is a quotation from Hitler's biography. One of the quotation which I really loved about that person. Though he was autocrat, but he was a great leader, but used his leadership for a wrong purpose. One of the quote what he has written in his biography is, if you don't like the rule, simply follow, reach the top, change the rule. If you don't like the rule, simply follow, because you cannot do anything now because you have no authorities. Simply follow, reach the top, and change the rule. That is what I tried doing. Similarly, sitting in the some AC room in Hubli, you cannot change the facts and things in Kashmir, which is being suspended from last 75 years. Things are getting changed nowadays, but still things are not normal. Understand? You know why this discussion is done, to see your maturity, the thought processes, convincing ability, and receiving ability. So respect others' view. Cannot judge other people. You cannot be an authority to say right or wrong. So respect others' view. If you respect others' view, definitely others will respect your view. First, try to give, then you will receive. Conclude the decision unbiased. Last thing in discussion. Finally, when it is discussion, we have to conclude it. When we have to conclude it, it has to be unbiased. It should not happen that like whatever other people have said, we toss those thoughts. No, 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 it is fine. Like, but I have started with this, and I will say that, then that will be debate. It will not be a discussion. So a good conclusion for a discussion is collecting good points from everyone and framing a common agreement, a statement, and narrating. That is what we are supposed to do. This is what do's of group discussion. Now we should go to the don'ts. The list is quite big because we do a lot of mistakes. This is for the first time I am conducting online group discussion session, my dear friends. Otherwise, what I generally, how I do this, I go to the institution or a gathering. I ask the students to volunteer, some 10-15. I don't tell anything, any of this. I ask them to start the group discussion. Okay, I give them 1 minute. I ask them to think on that subject and ask them to speak for 10 or 15 minutes. Then ask them to conclude. During that, I make the note, because I just want to see how do they perform. Based on that, do's and don'ts, I write it down and I tell them. Then I explain what is group discussion, what are the types of group discussion. For the first time in my 10 years of career, what I'm doing is virtually I'm sitting in front of you and telling all these do's and don'ts, thinking that these mistakes you may do. In the other word, these mistakes were done by your friends and seniors earlier. That is why I'm bringing it to you. So let us understand these mistakes. And the bottom line of this understanding is, do not do these mistakes. Okay, number one, it's a discussion, not a debate. Said it multiple times. Do not change the dimension of the agenda. It is a discussion, not a debate. Not one's opinion is always right. It has to be a looped opinion where we have to modify our thoughts and opinions. Second, do not argue unnecessarily. Argument is fine. Argument has to be there on certain stage and level, but it should not be unnecessary. Unnecessary means like when we see generally it in the debate. No matter the other person is saying right, also I stick to that. No. And unfortunately, a lot of news channels nowadays on the prime time, 9 o'clock in the evening, they make it as a debate hours, and it is like one way. They speak. And also, I request you one thing, my dear friends. If you really need information and content, what is happening around, switch to Lok Sabha TV. Okay. Every amendment, every change, every policy bring in the country. Okay. All other news channels, they bring some people for the debate and they shout whatever they want to shout. At the end of the prime time, what we get to hear is lot of noise. raise of voice, raising, abusing, all those things, right? No proper behavior, parliamentary behavior is tossed. Okay, only speaking, no listening in this. Lok Sabha TV, switch on to that. Okay, you sit and you understand. Anchor sits with three people or four people in the panel who are generally retired IAS, IFS, or IRS officer who are the policy makers, and the conversation, though it is debate, it never sounds like a debate. They speak so gentle, so well behaved, never other person interrupts the person who is speaking. 1.5 hours of discussion. By the end of the discussion, trust me, my dear friends, you will walk out with some knowledge. You know that anchor Pereira is being called to a lot of these premier UPSC preparation coaching centers as a guest speaker, because in his last 5-10 years of career as an anchor in Lok Sabha and being interactive with these stalwarts, like pro people who are in the system, as 30-35 years of experience as a IAS, IPS, and IFS officers, being with them, sharing the knowledge, he has become expert. Once watch it, then you will understand the clear difference between gaining knowledge and seeking some like disturbing so-called entertainment. I'm sorry, I don't have any complaint on any of the private media. I have no cable channel at home. I'm selective to what I should listen, and with my experience, I prefer to watch Lok Sabha for knowledge. Entertainment, I have other shows. There are a lot of other comedy shows, stand-up comedies. They entertain us more better than these prime time news channels. My personal opinion. Do not argue to some extent where you try to tell that, okay, this is my point, when the other person is trying to dominate you, that no, this is wrong. That's okay, fine, chalo, relax down, cool down, because you will not have to prove, you are not supposed to prove the other person that that person is right or wrong. HR will judge. Don't look at the moderator while speaking. Moderator is a person who generally conducts the discussion. In this case, that person is HR. While speaking also, or when somebody is also, like when somebody is speaking, do not look at the moderator. It gives us false impression that you are trying to impress that person, and it feels very bad. And sometimes HR also tells that don't look at the moderator, don't look at me, look at the crowd. It's very awkward. Don't do that. Just ignore that person. That person is doing that his or her duty. You just do your duty. Sit in the group, speak for 10 or 15 minutes in different intervals. Mind your own business. Don't play with pen, ring, or ID card. You know what happens is when I sit, I that's what I said. Na? We don't have a practice of sitting quiet and professionally. Generally, what do we do when we have a pen in our hand? We know when somebody is talking, we start playing with a pen or playing with a ring. And if we have ID card, all these things, we start doing it. That shows your nervousness. That shows you're not prepared, your non-preparedness and casual attitude. Don't do this. Don't look down elsewhere when somebody is speaking. See, if you don't look at the person who is speaking to you, it conveys a message that you are disrespecting that person in the way that I don't care whatever you try to speak. So please avoid this. Don't look down or don't look elsewhere. For example, you are talking, it's your turn in group discussion, you're talking to me, and I'm somewhere looking up, or I'm somewhere sitting very casually. I say down, then that shows like you're not interested in this discussion. During the interview process, if you show your non-interest in others' opinion, why do the HR select you? Because tomorrow you will be in the system and you will not give any attention to what other your boss or somebody says. This is how they conclude. So while speaking, look at the audience. That's what I said in the previous slide. And while listening, look at the speaker in a very positive way, nodding head. That is what is called as active listening. Practice that. Don't read the notes when you have made. I have said you keep the pen and paper, make some notes. It should not like you hold the paper and read for like, okay, this is what I have said, the point number one, point number two. You should not do that. You just keep that note as a reference. Don't read it. Don't create mini groups. See, this is something I want to tell you very precisely. When you go to any of the interview processes, make sure that keep your dosti, your friendship aside and go as a professional person. how dosti, I know, friendship and all, it is always good. Dosti for life, ye dosti hum nahi chodenge todenge tere saath na chodenge. Wonderful, I respect your friendship, but otherwise not every time dosti will help you. How, see, what happens is, what we do is we always walk together, go together. Since your childhood you are studied in same school, pu same school, college and degree same college, now you are in pg course in the same college, always last 24 years together. Okay, now you go to interview hall, a group discussion in the same room. Now you end up having your best friend as your competitor. If any one of you are being selected, either of you will be selected. Okay, avoid that. If you cannot avoid getting into the same group, at least don't sit next to your best friend, because the moment you sit next to your best friend, you create a comfort zone. You know what happens immediately when something starts discussing, na, you want to share something or you want to take something, immediately you just seek attention of your friend. Hey, it's a quiet, all these things start happening. If you set mini group, that's a bad thing, because company creates a team and give it. Okay, and in that team of 10 people, if you create your own group of 3 4 people who are from your native and all, you start your own politics. That is what they don't allow. Don't do that. Never say I don't agree or you're wrong. That's what I've already spoken. If the point said by other person is not right also, who are you to say it is wrong? Okay, and there are other ways of telling it. If you don't agree with what they say, is if you tell on their face like I don't agree with you, you are wrong, is like an aggressive behavior. It is on face you're criticizing someone, like you're disrespecting other views. For that you have to be an authority to say that. When you are not an authority, there are other ways of telling it. For example, if somebody, the other person in the group, that person says some point you don't agree with it, you can use these kind of statements. Okay, okay, fine, I'm okay. This is how you can start, like, I agree with your views, but my views are different. You know what it means? I don't agree with you, but how did you say I'm okay with your points, but here are my views? Right, what you said is absolutely right, but in this regard my opinion stands this way. So here you're not telling you're wrong. You said like, right, you're right, you are right, but this is not right. You're right, but my opinions are different. So use some sugar coated statements, be polite and gentle. Don't be so destructive and chop down somebody's statement abruptly. That is not going to help you. You know how it is interpreted. If you do this in the group discussion, tomorrow also you'll, in the workplace there will be a lot of discussion and debates going on. You, what you do is, you just don't agree with somebody. If you don't agree, on the face you tell, and people get offended. Okay, don't do this. Don't look at one person and speak. Okay, the discussion is happening, you said something, the immediate opposite person sitting in the arrangement, chair arrangement, that person counters your statement. Now you start one-to-one war with that person. How did you counter my point? Now let me give my answer. You know what happens is, it turns into a heated argument while everybody else is left out. Do that. Though you're answering the reply to the person who has countered your statement, make sure that your eye contact, you maintain the eye contact with everybody. Though you're looking at everybody, but you're answering that person. That is what you need to practice. Don't look at one person and speak. Avoid wrong body languages. Wrong body languages like the way you dress up, the way you sit. Okay, crossed leg, tapping foot, like a casual posture. All those things you need to avoid. So that we shall discuss it later. Don't speak for a longer duration. That's what I've already said. Speaking once for 3 minutes and maybe in the beginning or the end or in the middle, or 2 or 3 minutes, a long statement, avoid. 2 3 reasons. Number one, people are not interested listening to your lengthy speech. Number two, creating lengthy statements may create fall, like mistakes in the structure. Third thing, you may go out of the track. Okay, that's what, avoid these lengthy speeches. Make it short, point wise, speak it in interval. Second set of don'ts, don't use broken sentences. This applies for people who are not good at English communication. When we struggle making sentences, so when we start speaking in group discussion, our sentences are broken. Avoid that. So how to avoid that? Practice speaking in English. How we are supposed to practice? Speak in English every day, at least for next 40-45 days. Practice whatever you're speaking, speak in English. At least to some extent you can make some impression in group discussion. Otherwise, last 23-24 years you have kept quiet, never spoken in English. And if you think directly you go to interview and you speak in English, it is not going to happen. On the previous day of examination you can sit and clear some of the subjects, but not one day you can become a good orator in English, or you can clear aptitude and group discussion in one day. It requires a minimum 40 to 50 days of practice. So please mind this statement: 40 to 50 days of every day's practice required. Don't divert from the subject. So it happens that the topics are like that. So make sure that be on track. Don't get diverted. Not speaking in group discussion is that you are out of the selection process. Not speaking at all for 10 minutes or 12 minutes, the result is out. So that means that you are supposed to speak. And you will notice in future in your selection processes, in a group of 10 or 12, you will always find 2 or 3 people in the group, they never speak in group discussion. Please make sure that you're not that one or that three. You're not one amongst those three. How to avoid? Speak, practice. Don't use a slang or local language. The communicative language is English, and you're supposed to speak in English. And in between you to the bridge the gap between broken sentences, you can use Hindi. Okay, as it is a national language, and most of most of the people in the country know it. Otherwise, don't use your local languages, and using that colloquial and slang languages you're supposed to avoid. For your informal group discussion, slang language and any kind of a local language is fine, but for your formal, it is not accepted. Don't defame anyone or defame the brand. This is very important. What happens is, in the flow of speech, like we are excited. See, excitement is fine, enthusiasm is fine, but anything crosses a limit, we end up in controversies. See, what happens is, when there is a topic, something related to politics, generally the topic will be politics. We end up converting that topic into politicians. When it is in India, when we talk about politicians, we only compare Narendra Modi with Rahul Gandhi. Okay. Politics is not Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi. Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi are politicians, right? So whatever it is, like fine, you talk about Narendra Modi or you talk about Rahul Gandhi, you keep talking about that person or you defame that person, for example. Who knows, the HR is pro other party person. So you're gone, so do not defame anyone. You don't have any rights to defame anyone. So using somebody's name in an open forum, defaming is constitutionally wrong, so avoid that. And defaming brands, okay, so you're talking about some brand, you're giving interview to XYZ company and you defame other company brand. No, you think that this company HR will get impressed, like if I'm defaming the competitor company. No, it goes wrong. You know how? The perception of the HR is, today during the selection process, if this candidate defames the other company, certainly tomorrow this candidate will defame my company, is go to other companies. Okay, don't do this. These are the cheap ways of getting into a limelight. Don't do that. Defaming, don't do it. Don't dominate. Aggressive is different, dominating different. Aggressive is about with your body language and the raising tone and all. Dominating something is like you never listen to other, like you don't, like you say, I don't agree with you, this is wrong, like go like that, continuously you speak. That's very wrong behavior. Only use this dominating behavior if you are giving your interview to a hardcore sales company where they no ethics, nothing, hame kuch nahi chahiye, end of the day I need sales. If at all you have watched a movie called as Wolf of Wall Street, I don't recommend to everyone. If you some, like, at least because the content and some of the languages and some of the scenes are not, again to your viewership, it is like you have to decide. But in that movie, it is about stock exchange and selling stocks and all, shares and all. No, the statement is do anything at the sale. If that is kind of a company's ethics, we don't generally find those because all the companies are ethical, then only be dominant. Otherwise, be polite, be humble, be professional. Don't be aggressive and don't be casual. Okay, your behavior needs to be very professional. Casual is like something I am careless yaar, chalo aaye to aaya gaya to gaya. Don't do it. If you don't want to be part of that discussion, don't even walk into the at that premises. Otherwise, if you decided to walk inside, be professional. That is how you can justify the ID card and the blazer what you are wearing as an MBA graduate. Don't laugh during the discussion. Smile on the face is different, laughing is different. You know what happens, sometimes a person may speak something wrong or make some unnecessary statements, so we all sit and start laughing. That's a wrong thing. So don't do that. That is very casual. uh, don't overshoot the time. When the time is given, when the HR says like last minute to conclude, you have to conclude the discussion within that 1 minute. Don't overshoot it. So don't raise your voice, improve your argument. This is a tagline I have used in the first slide. Don't raise your voice, improve your argument. There's so much meaning in this that we can understand with the last two slides of do's and don'ts. So my dear friends, what we have seen so far is what is group discussion, types of group discussion, format of group discussion, qualities identified in group discussion, do's and of don'ts. So please pay attention on all these aspects, make your mind, and it will only be coming in practice only when you do a lot of mock interviews. So how to prepare yourself for any of the group discussion? These are the some of the key aspects you need to start working on. Number one, be ready with the content. Content is like a read newspaper. Reading newspaper helps you to get the content and getting information from the internet. Make notes on the important events, like what is like important events, what has happened in last 1 or 2 years, all the national and international events. You have to take it as your group discussion topics. What you should do is in next 1 or 2 days, make a list of 2025 topics which has happened, like events happened in last 1 or 2 years. Dig the information. Now you have the blessings of internet. So anything you write it, you get a content. Make a point. For example, Article 377, that is an amendment made by Supreme Court 2 3 years back. So what you will be doing is like some 7 8 points on that. That is one content. Article 377, 497, adultery act, the partial abolishment of adultery act, that you have to do it. Then similarly, demonetization, impact of coronavirus on the GDP. Now the GDP is going terribly bad. Like what we are saying is something wrong, like very bad phase of our economy. So this is what, make a point of 7 8 or 10 points. Next 2 3 days, if you are ready with some 2025 topics which has happened in last 1 or 2 years, that I can call it as a collection of content. That is called as collection of content, not the you are prepared on that content. What you should do next is keep discussing this content with your friends so that you can remember. When you sit for a group discussion, these things will come out. I'm not asking you to mug up or by heart or something. You need to understand. These are the simple things, sir. By discussing these with, if at all you have any of your friends who are sincerely or seriously preparing for UPSC from last 1 or 2 years, they will definitely help you in this, because for them the Quran, Bible, or Bhagavad Gita is Hindu newspaper. At least they are in touch with these this newspaper and these contents from last 1 or 2 years. They are like encyclopedia for you. Make a like they are like October 4th is their examination. Don't disturb them too much. If that, just give them a call that how is your preparation going on. If at all you have 5 or 10 minutes, I have some doubts on this article 497. I'm not getting like what do you mean by this partial abolishment? Just give them. For them, it is a revision for their mains examination. They will talk to you for 3 or 4 minutes. This is how. Otherwise, start working on them. Work on your spoken English and body language. My dear friends, English is the language where you are supposed to use in the discussions in the interview conversations. So start speaking in English. Start working on your language improvement. Language should not be a barrier for your communication. And body language, 6 component. That's what I said. If you want a session on group discussion, please put that into chat box so that I will come prepared. Maybe after the interview preparation is the next discussion session, the session which we'll be discussing. After that, I will come with body language content that we shall decide. Once I say my discussion is over, drop it in the chat box so that we can take a call on that. Practice is the key. Practice makes man perfect. That is the proverb what we have studied in our school days, and that is the key. Practice at least 10 mock interviews and mock group discussion. That will make you a bit confident to initiate your discussions in group discussion. So at least 10, not less than that. Otherwise, we will not be confident. Trust me. Trust me. It is out of my experience. I'm telling you. We go and we just fumble like anything, and we don't even contribute what we exactly wanted to contribute. So practice well. Record your GD sessions and evaluate your performances. Now everywhere the social distancing is happening, something it is not practicing. At least pull in your friends, get into some Zoom calls or Google Meet or something. Some 15 minutes of 10 of you for 15 minutes. Turn on your videos and your audio. Ask the host to record the session, and you all participate in a group discussion and share that recorded video to your friends, so that you will get to know how you are sitting. And make sure that the mobile is kept in such a way that your proper sitting posture is visible, how you're sitting, where you're looking at, how you're speaking, how the listening was happening. Everything you can understand. What we have discussed so far, you can evaluate to yourself. As we are all in the lockdown period and where the colleges are not yet started, physically coming together and arranging a mock GD is not possible. But I request you to do it online, where everything is happening online. Why not practice of group discussion done online? For your betterment, for your practice, you have to do this. So thank you for your time.